Morning. Good morning. Okay. Please introduce yourself by your name, educational qualification, and from when you have started preparing for CSC examinations.
Myself, Krishna. I have completed my BCom and studying MBA and
Okay,
then from my
fine. You? Sit, sit, sit. Sit. Okay, fine. I'm Sanjay Kumar HP. I teach science and technology. I have around 7+ years of teaching experience for various competitive examinations, including UPSC, CSC, central government and state examinations. Earlier, I was working with an academy. Right now, I have my own online platform, and I teach science and technology, computer literacy in various offline institutions. Okay. For UPSC preliminary examinations, how many questions you can expect from science and technology part? Have you seen the question paper, previous year question papers? Not yet. Okay. The first thing which you need to do once you start preparing for an examination is to know about the examination, right? What is the pattern? What is the requirement? What is the syllabus? What you need to study? What you need to cover? You need to know, right? When I started to prepare for my examinations, I took coaching in Delhi. Even my teacher told the same thing. He said a story. He was traveling to some place in a train and he asked his co-passenger where you are traveling to. He just searched his pocket and saw the ticket and told that I'm going to some place. That means he doesn't know where he's traveling to, right? Means he's not cautious, he's not interested, might be, right? You should be. First thing, when you believe in something, the work is half done. You should believe in yourself. You started preparing for civil service examinations. Generally, we say IAS examination, but not so, right? Civil service examinations, if you crack, you will crack. Once you crack, you can opt many services. You know, the stages of the examination, preliminary examination later, mains examination later, personality test interview, we can say, right? Have you seen the web series 12th Fail? 12th Fail, film ಅದು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? I think web series or film. Anyway. In that 12th Fail movie or web series, a person from rural background, he clears UPSC CSC examination after many failed attempts, right? What was the hurdle, main hurdle which he was facing? He cleared preliminary examination many a times, but for clearing mains examination, it was very difficult for him. The main reason is, see, each and every person who prepares for civil service examination thinks that if I clear preliminary examination, then I can handle mains. But that is not the case. You should prepare for your mains examinations. That is the main part. Preliminary examination, will the marks count for your final selection? Will the preliminary examination marks count for your final selection or ranking? No. It is just an entry to the next level. It will just give you an entry pass, that's all. Those marks will not count. But you need to clear the preliminary examination. Later, the marks of your mains examination and personality test, those two combined, gives you the ranking, right? That's why from day one of your preparation, what you need to do, the degree examination, the degree kind of preparation is over. You need to change your plans. You need to change your timetable. right? Earlier during the time of degree preparation, you might be doing master degree, right? What you will do? During the time of examination, you study. That's true, right? That too, a day before or 2 3 days before the examination, you study. You start to study, and each and every subject will be having 3 4 5 days of study holidays, right? You'll be having so much time to study. Start new also. You can start afresh and clear the subject. At least clear the subject. But here that is not the case. Morning you will be having paper one. Afternoon session you will be having paper two. Preliminary examination. In paper one, which are all the subjects which you need to cover? History, geography, polity, environment and ecology, science and technology, economics, current affairs, right? All these topics you need to cover. History itself is a huge subject. Polity, geography, very big subjects. You all are from different backgrounds. Probably all three are from commerce background, right? All these subjects are new for you. Then what we can do? Study, that's all, right? See, civil service examination board thinks that the examination should be a level playing field. It should be same for each and every student from different educational backgrounds. That's why paper 2 we have mental ability, aptitude, reasoning, comprehension, etc. subjects, topics. That is just a qualification. 66 marks if you score, you can clear, right? 33 percentage. In paper 1, cutoff will be there. What will be the expected cutoff? 85 marks. Sometimes it was 78, 79, 80, 85, 91, 92, right? Let's say 100 marks is safe cutoff marks, right? That means 50 percentage. What was your degree percentage? 100%. You might have scored more than 50 percentage, right? But that is not possible or easy here. It's very difficult compared to your degree preparation, but not that difficult also if you start to prepare in the right manner. You need to know the examination requirements first, what the examination needs, expects from you people. You need to know the syllabus. Is there any prescribed detailed syllabus present for preliminary examination? Have you seen the any notification, UPSC last year's notification or syllabus copy? Okay, today onwards, from today onwards, you are preparing for civil service examination. You will be bureaucrats in a year to come. Okay, first believe in yourself. Don't think that during the time of study or a year I'll prepare, later I'll see. Don't think like that, right? First, have a strong belief that I can definitely clear. You can clear, but it's definitely plausible. Then go through with the syllabus today. Once you complete the classes, go to your home, search the website upscsc.org. Then you will get the detailed syllabus copy. Check the syllabus of preliminary examination. Then expected cutoff, 50 percentage you will score. Then later, mains examination syllabus, paper 1, paper 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Then optional subject is there, right? Optional. Have you ever thought to choose any optional subject? Have you thought? Which one? Fixed. Started to prepare, right? Yours? Not yet planned. Not yet planned, right? See, you have paid the fees. Yours. This is the prime time of your life, right? 20s, prime time. You need to invest your time properly. Time is a big investment rather than money, right? So plan accordingly, plan properly, go through with the syllabus copy first, then try to try to means select an optional subject within a week at least. Don't hurry, right? Which are all the subjects you feel will be easy or interesting to study? There are so many options, right? I'm from commerce background. I take mathematics. Don't do that because it will be very, very difficult. But if you are really interested, you can take. Many students who have taken mathematics scored really well because you cannot deduct any marks easily, right? Each and every steps will be there. The answer will be there. You will get good marks if you get the solution, right? That is also there. Then there are few subjects which will give regularly, which was giving good results like anthropology, political science, public administration, geography. There are so many subjects, and if you are really passionate and if you really have studied Kannada in your school days properly, then you can take Kannada also or your any regional language, right? Once you select your optional subject, once you select, then go through the question papers, mains question paper of 2 3 years. Just read the questions. If you can read the question, and if something comes to your mind, and if you can think that, okay, I can study this topic, it feels easy. Once go through the syllabus copy of the optional subject, the detailed syllabus will be there. Later, go through question paper. You don't have to write or think about the answers detailedly. At least if there is some part of interest which you feel you can study, then you can select that subject, right? Many students, what they will do, they will take one optional subject, they will give 1 or 2 mains, then optional subject marks, they don't get good marks, then they will change. That is a very bad plan. That will be very difficult to switch optional subject after clearing a preliminary examination, right? Choose beforehand only optional subject. Later, current affairs. How important is current affairs for preliminary or mains examination? Very important. If you compare the importance, if you keep all the subjects on one side and current affairs on one side, the current affair weighs more, right? Current affairs. Do you have the habit of reading newspaper? Not yet. Sometimes, rarely. The front sheet, last sheet, right? Okay, from now onwards, start the habit of reading newspaper regularly, not the political news, local news. What you need to read? Geopolitical affairs, geopolitical affairs, then national, international affairs, then any new policy related news. Then please read the editorial daily. Start to read the editorial and try to make a short notes out of it. Try to read the it. See, every means starting 1 or 2 weeks, it will be very difficult for you. Reading a single newspaper takes 100% 2 to 3 hours. Reading the whole editorial and making a notes out of it, or making notes out of the newspaper. But once you make a habit of it, within a 15 days or 20 days, you can complete the newspaper in less than 30 minutes, right? Every day you should read the newspaper. That is compulsory. Which paper you will follow? Hindu, the best one. The Hindu, right? If you don't have active subscription, please take. The subscription means the Hindu, right? Online or offline. Take the newspaper, read regularly. Later, monthly magazines will be published by many institutions and many online platforms. Okay. Stick to one monthly magazine, any good monthly magazine. After reading daily newspaper, take one day off from regular studies and complete the current affairs of that month. If you make this a habit, it will really help in your preliminary examination, right? Current affairs. Okay. Then don't neglect paper 2. What many people think, even I thought, what many people think, I'm very good in mathematics, I'm very good in reasoning aptitude, I will skip paper 2. I can easily score 33 marks, you will think. But once take 3 hours time, take any previous year's paper to question paper and try to solve. You cannot solve a single comprehension completely. It is that difficult even to solve a comprehension, right? So it's better to take that also seriously and start to practice regarding that. In science and technology, you can expect around 8, sometimes 12, 15, 14 questions. Let's say around 8 to 10 questions you can expect from science and technology part. Which are all the topics which we need to cover? Which are all the topics which are important means space technology, defense technology, biotechnology, information technology, then later miscellaneous concepts and nanotechnology, robotics, cyber security. These are the main topics which we will cover, which we need to cover, right? Instead of these technology topics, we need to have a strong basic understanding about the concepts from physics, chemistry, and biology. I think you might have studied science till SSLC 10th, right? How much you scored? More than 70, 80? Okay, it's okay. You need to have strong basics of general science, means biology, physics, and chemistry. For example, Newton's second law equation, Newton's second law, third law, right? For every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. Second law, force is equals to mass into acceleration. Why cloud floats in the atmosphere? Because the density of cloud is less than the density of air. That's why it floats. Once it starts to condense, precipitation, rain occurs, right? Basic concepts of physics, biology, and chemistry we need to know. We'll cover in first few hours. Yesterday, you might get the recorded video. Yesterday, we have discussed about evolution, nutrition, photosynthesis, plant reproduction, basic concepts. Today, we will discuss about the important topics of biology like endocrine glands present in our body, then genetical disorders like Turner syndrome, Down syndrome, etc. We'll discuss. Later, we'll discuss few other topics like blood composition, etc. Okay. Cell, nucleus. Do you know what nucleus is? Cell ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ವಾ? Okay, fine. Cell is the basic structural and functional unit of a living organism. Basic structural and functional unit. The size of the cell will be around a few microns. Micrometer. Micrometer means 10 power minus 6 meter. If you take a meter, cut it into 10 lakh parts, the one single part is 1 micrometer. The cell will be of that size, which we cannot see with our naked eyes. We can see it through microscope, compound microscope or electron microscope. We can observe the cell. Okay. If the cell have definite nucleus, it will be called as eukaryote. The term which you need to know. Cell with definite nucleus, eukaryote. Without a definite nucleus, without a definite nucleus, prokaryote. In Earth, various types of living organisms are there, from animals, plants, microorganisms, right? Generally, except bacteria and blue-green algae, bacteria and blue-green algae, algae means patchy, blue-green algae, all other organisms are eukaryotes. All other organisms, all animals, all plants, amoeba, euglena, paramecium, etc. all are eukaryotes. Means they have definite nucleus. Bacteria and blue-green algae are prokaryotes, right? Inside the cell, we have nucleus. Inside the nucleus, we have chromatin network. Just listen, chromatin network. No need to write. Chromatin network. How many chromosomes do we have? Chromosomes. Do you know chromosomes? Female XX, male XY chromosomes. Right? Humans have 46 chromosomes. 23 pair of chromosomes. How much? 23 pair of chromosomes. Total 46 chromosomes. We have 46 chromosomes. Right? During the time of cell division, the chromatin network converts into short, thick chromosomes. See, in humans, chromosomes are present in pair. Chromosomes are in pair. That's why we are called as diploid organisms. Two chromosomes are in pair, diploid organisms. Okay. How many pairs of chromosomes are there? 23 pair of chromosomes. Total 46 chromosomes we have. The first 22 pair of chromosomes are autosomes. Last pair is the sex chromosome. In male we have XY chromosome. In female we have XX chromosome. Male XY chromosome, female XX chromosome. Do you know heredity? Heredity. If you go to see a newborn baby, you might have heard from others, the nose is like his father, the eyes are like his mother's, right? You might have heard, right? That is heredity. From generation to generation, the traits, guna lakshana, the traits transfer from parents to children. The family lineage will be there, right? That is heredity. Heredity. The hereditary traits are transferred from one generation to another generation with the help of See, if a person X married to person Y, they had a baby. This person doubts that this child is not his. What he might do to test how he can check if the baby is his only? DNA test, right? DNA. From father, mother to the child, from parents to children, hereditary traits. Hereditary traits travel with the help of DNA in the form of DNA. In the chromosome, how many pairs? 23 pairs, total 46, 23 pairs of chromosomes. We have DNA. The structure of DNA is helical. Helical structured DNA we have. DNA, helical structure. Deoxyribonucleic acid. Ribo sugar will be there. We just said ribonucleic acid. Deoxyribonucleic acid. DNA. Ribonucleic acid RNA. Ribonucleic acid RNA. When we start to study about biotechnology in the future, biotechnology, if you see the previous year question papers of preliminary examination, if there are, for example, 10 questions from science, 4 to 5 questions will be from biotechnology. That much important biotechnology is. Those many questions will come from biotechnology. For you to understand about biotechnology, you should be having some basic knowledge about what DNA is, what gene is, what is a cell, what is the structure, right? We'll discuss these things right now. Later, during the time of discussion of biotechnology, we'll discuss the next topics, right? DNA. This is deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA. We'll discuss the structure later, how it is made, what are the things it is having, etc. We'll discuss later. In the DNA, inside the cell, see, for example, just think how many cells we might be having in our body. For example, 1,000, lakh, crore. How much? Trillions of cells we have. Trillion, have you heard the word? India will become 5 trillion economy. You might have heard, right? Trillion means 10 power. Million means 10 power. Million, 10 lakh. Millionaire, 10 power 6. Right? Billion, 10 power 9. Million, 10 power 6. 10 laksha. Billion, 10 power 9. 100 crores. Trillion, 10 power 12. 1 lakh crores. Do you use social media? Instagram. I forgot his name. There's a person who goes to each and every person in Church Street and asks, not Church Street, anyway, maybe. If I give you 1 crore or 1 million rupees, what will you choose? He asks. What will you choose? 1 crore or 1 million? 1 million means 10 power 6, 10 lakhs. 1 crore means 7 zeros, more than 10 lakhs, right? What will you choose? 1 crore. Likewise, million 10 power 6, billion 10 power 9, trillion 10 power 12. Our solar system, Earth, was formed 4.6 billion years ago. Our Earth was formed 4.6 billion years ago. Just imagine how old Earth is, our solar system is. But the lifespan of our sun, the star, is very huge in billions of years. Right now, our star sun is in his youth stage. No need to worry for us and a few generations to come. Sun will be there. It will not explode also, right? Inside the cell, we have nucleus. Inside the nucleus, we have chromosome. Chromosome. Inside the chromosome, we have DNA. Inside the DNA, we have gene. Genes. You have heard, right? Genes. From generation to generation, genes transfer in the form of heredity, we say, right? Genes. In the cell, we have nucleus. Inside the cell, we have chromosome. In the chromosome, we have DNA. In DNA, we have genes. Many genes we have. Let's say, I think my hairs are falling. What shall we do? I discuss with my family. My family people tell, your grandfather is also not having hairs on his head. Your father is also not having. Then that is heredity, right? Your father is tall, mother is tall, you are tall. Heredity, right? Heredity, generation to generation, genes. If your father is giving a taller trait characteristic, tall, mother is giving short characteristic, which one will be exhibited in the child? The stronger one, not father, mother, the stronger one, right? Which trait is more stronger one that will be exhibited? Okay. In DNA, we have genes. One more thing, very, very important. Actually, in CSC examination, they have asked a question about three-parent baby. Three-parent baby, we'll discuss later. Is it ever possible to have three parents? See, we'll discuss here. Cell, nucleus. Inside the nucleus, we have chromosomes, DNA, gene, etc. Right? What are the other cell organelles which you know? Do you know any cell organelles inside the cell, the different organs? I think you might be knowing this. Powerhouse of the cell, mitochondria, right? Likewise, there are so many other cell organelles: endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, mitochondria, ribosome, centriole, etc. There are so many other cell organelles. In a human, we have so many organs, right? Lungs, heart, liver, kidney. Likewise, inside the cell, there are so many cell organelles. Powerhouse mitochondria, post office Golgi complex. Why post office? Because it takes protein from elsewhere and distribute it to some other places. Receives, distributes. That's why it is unofficially called as post office of the cell. Golgi complex, Golgi complex. Likewise, there are so many other cell organelles. Here, the mitochondria is there. Mitochondria. Mitochondria is called as powerhouse of the cell. Powerhouse, mitochondria. Fish respires with the help of gills. Humans respire with the help of lungs, right? With the help of lungs. We inhale oxygen, we give out carbon dioxide. Just inhale once and exhale by placing finger. The air coming out is little warm, right? Respiration is an exothermic reaction. Heat is produced. Heat is given out during the chemical reaction. Okay. You inhaled oxygen. The air went into your lungs. Inside the lungs, the gas exchanges to our blood. right? In blood, we have oxygen carrier called hemoglobin. Oxygen carrier of human blood, hemoglobin. Hemoglobin carries oxygen to each and every cell of our body. Each and every cell. How many cells do we have? Trillions of cells. Lakh crores of cells we have. Just imagine. Right? Animals are dynamic, active, they have motion, right? That's why we need to have more number of living cells. We need to have more number of living cells. Okay, that's why we have lysosome also. Lysosome, suicide bag of the cell. Suicide bag, lysosome. If the cell is old, if the cell is weak, if the cell is damaged, lysosome will destroy the cell. Lysosome will kill the cell. Suicide bag, lysosome. Only present in animal cell, lysosome. Then the mitochondria. Mitochondria, see, you inhaled oxygen, right? You are exhaling carbon dioxide. Where exactly in our body oxygen is converted into carbon dioxide? Inhaled, exhaling. Where in our body oxygen is converted into carbon dioxide? We think lungs, not exactly. Because oxygen is transported to each and every cell of our body with the help of hemoglobin, right? Hemoglobin carries oxygen. Okay. In each and every cell, the cell present in your fingertip, in your ear, in your hip, everywhere, the oxygen is utilized and carbon dioxide is produced. What happens in your powerhouse mitochondria? Mitochondria. Energy is produced in the form of a chemical called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Let's see. Blood sugar is the sugar present in our blood is fructose, sucrose, lactose, maltose, glucose. Which one? Which sugar is present in our blood? Glucose, right? Blood sugar, glucose. C6H12O6 glucose. Glucose. Had your breakfast? Breakfast. You had, right? Once you have your food, the nutrients present in your food is divided into simpler forms. That is digestion. For a layman, if you ask what digestion means, he says, I chewed the food particles properly for it to digested properly. Then I ate fiber-rich food so that no constipation happens. I drank so much amount of water, right? For him, digestion means the food should not get stuck in the digestive tract and it should move out easily. What he says, if you have banana, if you have pan, if you have some fruits, veggies, digestion will be proper, right? That is not digestion, that is bowel movement. What digestion is? Converting complex nutrient into simple nutrient. For example, you are having chapati. In chapati, starch will be there. Many carbohydrates will be there. Some protein will be there. Okay. The carbohydrate, the starch will be converted into, starch is also a carbohydrate, complex carbohydrate, that is converted into simple sugar, maltose, then simpler sugar, glucose, right? Once you start to lose, think to lose weight, which food you will avoid? Rice. The common thing which we think rice is the only culprit which makes us to gain weight. We think like that, right? That's not exactly right. But yes, it contributes because we Indians, South Indians especially, eat a lot of rice for lunch, dinner, breakfast, everything. Rice is having more carbohydrate. The too polished rice is not good for us because fiber content will be lost, vitamin B1 lost. Okay. More carbohydrate means the carbohydrate is converted into simple sugar called glucose. Blood sugar will rise if you eat a more amount of carbohydrate. The sugar present in our blood, glucose, is transported to each and every cell. We eat food that is digested. Absorption happens in our small intestine. The absorbed, digested nutrients travel through blood. Blood carries nutrients, blood carries glucose. With the help of blood, each and every nutrient travels to each and every cell of our body. When you born, the ear was very small, right? It grew because it got nutrients. Each and every part of our body, right? The nutrients was supplied with the help of blood that carries the nutrients, right? Glucose, the basic carbohydrate, simpler carbohydrate. Glucose is converted into energy with the help of oxygen. Humans respire. Many animals respire by using oxygen. Aerobic respiration, we said. Aerobic respiration. Oxygen, we are using oxygen to respire. The energy is produced in the mitochondria, that's why powerhouse of the cell. Glucose in the presence of oxygen produces carbon dioxide, little amount of water, then energy in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Oxygen is converted into carbon dioxide where? In each and every cell of our body. In each and every cell of our body, oxygen is converted into carbon dioxide. Where exactly in the cell? In mitochondria. That's why we can call mitochondria as sites of cellular respiration. We know it as the powerhouse of the cell, right? We can call it as sites of cellular respiration, means where the respiration actually happens inside the mitochondria. Mitochondria's main function to produce energy in the form of ATP by utilizing the nutrient glucose. First function. Then it is also doing a help, a favor to us by converting oxygen into carbon dioxide, right? Oxygen is converted into carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide comes back to our lungs with the help of blood itself. Blood carries oxygen, carbon dioxide, both. Carbon dioxide, there are two types of blood vessels. One carries oxygen, one carries carbon dioxide. Oxygen carrying blood vessel is artery, artery. Carbon dioxide carrying blood vessel is veins. Okay. Then through the veins, carbon dioxide comes to the lungs. Then we exhale carbon dioxide, right? Mitochondria is very important here because other than, listen, other than nucleus, where else DNA is present in human cell means where DNA is present inside the cell, inside the nucleus, inside the chromosome, we have DNA. In the chromosome, we have DNA, right? Other than chromosome, where else DNA is present means in the mitochondria. In the mitochondria also, we have DNA. In the mitochondria, we have DNA. Very much important. That too, the DNA present in the mitochondria comes 100% from mother. The DNA in the mitochondria comes 100% from the mother. See, other DNA comes from both mother and father. Both mother and father, we get the traits, hereditary traits, right? But the mitochondrial DNA is only from mother. mitochondrial DNA. If there is a defect, then hereditary disease will come. If there is a defect in the DNA which is transferred from the mother, hereditary disease will come, right? That's why to alleviate the disease, we have many methods like gene editing, DNA fingerprinting, DNA transferring, etc. There are so many methods. By editing the defective gene, we can add a good, proper, healthy gene into the newborn child. That is three parent baby. We'll discuss later. Right. Right now, as of now, let us know DNA is present in the nucleus primarily. Inside the chromosome, DNA is there. DNA is there. Other than chromosome, in mitochondria also we have DNA. In mitochondria also we have deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA. Right? Very much important. I will give you the complete PDF of biology, physics, and chemistry. Means the PDF is majorly made from the NCIT books. See, once you start to prepare for CSA examination, the first guidance you get from any of your seniors or educators or faculty is that please cover 6 to 12 few subjects, 6 to 10th few subjects, NCIT books. That is the basic foundation. If you read all the books, if you cover all the books, all the NCIT books of all the subjects, then the work is half done, we can say. That much important the NCIT books are. As you're from commerce background, science basics are a little difficult for you. That's why we'll discuss the important basic concepts. Other than that, please have a look from the PDF notes. Just go through it. No need to remember very deeply, no need to by heart, no need to make a notes. Okay, just go through once. You will get to know the topics, the concepts. We'll discuss the important basic concepts right now. Later, we will move on to the technology part. Before moving on to the technology part, let us discuss at least 2 to 3 years of science and technology previous year question papers so that you will get to know what kind of questions will be asked in the examination and you will get to have an idea regarding that. Okay, let's start with the last class. Please see the recorded class. Breathing is different, respiration is different. Breathing means inhale, exhale, that's all. Respiration means conversion of oxygen into carbon dioxide, where conversion of oxygen into carbon dioxide occurs in our body, in the mitochondria. in the mitochondria, right? Oxygen is utilized, carbon dioxide is produced during the process of preparation of energy. Glucose in the presence of oxygen divided into carbon dioxide, water, and adenosine triphosphate, right? How respiration happens in us means with the help of nasal cavity, nose, we inhale the air. Can we breathe through our mouth? Can we breathe through our mouth? Yes, we can, but it is not suggested. Why? In the nose, we have hair-like projections to trap the dust particles, right? And there is jelly-like material which is created to filter the dust particles, etc., traveling into our respiratory tract, right? That is not present in our throat, I mean, mouth. With the help of nasal cavity, we inhale. Then we have pharynx. Pharynx means simply throat. Then larynx. Larynx means voice box. Voice box. While talking, while talking for many hours, you might feel some. If you talk for 8 to 10 hours a day, then you will get to know the pain in your lungs, back, etc. Why? While talking, the air is coming out from your lungs. Right? Talk and test later. And you can feel the vibration. Right? How larynx work? There is a membrane, there is a hole. When air passes through that hole, the membrane vibrates. Due to the vibration, the sound is produced. Larynx, voice box. Then pharynx. Pharynx is the single passage to both esophagus, food pipe, and windpipe. Single passage to both food pipe and windpipe, that is our throat, right? There is a lid in the entrance of our windpipe called epiglottis, very much important. Lid, epiglottis, lid at the entrance of our windpipe. How does epiglottis work? If a person is met with an accident, if a person met with an accident and he is uncautious or with little injuries, what the people will do? First, people will do, they will make him to sit or stand. Later, they will offer him some water. If he is unconscious, also they will try to feed him some water. Is that good or bad? 100%. That is not recommended. Not recommended. That should not be done. Why? What will happen? See, when you are cautious, when your brain is working properly, what happens? While swallowing, while drinking water, the epiglottis will be closed. Epiglottis will be closed. The windpipe will be closed. The food will travel through your food pipe. While speaking, while respiration, while during the time of respiration, the epiglottis will be opened. The person is unconscious, he is breathing, but he's not cautious, right? At the time, if you pour some water into his mouth, what will happen? The epiglottis will be opened. The entire amount of water which you pour in will go to his lungs. That is very dangerous. Water will go into his lungs, right? Epiglottis, the lid. Many a times while eating very fast, you might have experienced the food particle entering your windpipe. That is because epiglottis got confused whether to open or close. You are breathing, you are eating, both the works are going simultaneously, right? At that time, the food particle enters your windpipe. Then you will get a serious cough. You will try to cough and put that food particle outside. If the particle is very small, then no issues. If that happens many a times, the food particle goes into your lungs, then that creates a problem, right? That's why epiglottis very much important. Do you need energy while sleeping? Do you need energy while sleeping? Carbohydrates and fats are energy giving nutrients. Okay. Do you need energy while sleeping? Yes. Why? Circulation is happening, respiration is happening, excretory system is working, various other systems in our body is working, right? That needs energy for our lungs to function, for our heart to function. We need energy. While sleeping, also, we need energy. Okay. Why do you get yawning? Yawning. Sorry if you don't like the class, or if we are bored, or if we feel sleepy, or if we had more amount of food for our breakfast, right? Then only we feel like yawning, right? Yawning occurs due to yawning, ಆಕಳಿಕೆ. Oxygen level in our blood is reduced. Carbon dioxide percentage is increased. Why that happens? See, you're sitting, relaxing normally, right? Your breathing rate is normal. Normal person's breathing rate will be around 15 to 18 times per minute. Heartbeat rate 72 beats per minute. Heartbeat. Breathing rate 15 to 18 times per minute. While running, breathing rate increases, right? Because you need more energy. You are breathing fast. Maximum per minute, 25 times you can breathe. 25 times a minute you can breathe, right? You had your lunch in the afternoon, heavy lunch. You are sitting in the class. You feel like sleeping. You feel like yawning. That is because for the food to get digested, it needs energy. For the digestive system to work, it needs energy. For the energy to produce, you need oxygen. Are you respiring more? No. The respiration is normal. That's why the carbon dioxide level in the blood increases. That's why you feel like yawning. You open your mouth very wide. You give out a carbon dioxide. Then you take in oxygen. Next time when you feel like yawning, try this. At least for a minute or two, do deep breathing so that oxygen level will increase in your blood. That will work. Okay. Why hiccups comes? Hiccups. Bikadika. See, there is a special gland called diaphragm. Diaphragm below our lungs. This is our chest cavity, right? Cavity means space. Inside our chest cavity, we have lungs. Then we have our heart, right? Then chest cavity is protected by ribs. 12 pair of ribs we have. 12 right side, 12 left side, 12. 12 pair of ribs we have. Below that we have diaphragm. Diaphragm separates chest cavity from abdominal cavity. In the abdominal cavity we have stomach, intestine, small large intestine, pancreas, etc. we have. Okay. This diagram works in tandem with our breathing rate. If we inhale, ribs move outward, right, to make place for our lungs. Likewise, diaphragm moves downwards. If we exhale, diaphragm moves upwards. Inhale downward, exhale upward. Diaphragm will be moving. Generally, when do you encounter hiccups? While eating very fast, while you are in hurry, having your breakfast, or when you eat some spicy food, right? What happens? Your breathing rate and your eating rate, your diaphragm will be confused whether to go up or go down. Involuntary movement happens in the diaphragm. Involuntary movement means, does heart listen to you? Can you control your heartbeat? No, right? It is involuntary function. Continuously it will work. Heart. Likewise, this diaphragm will work without your control. Can you control your breathing, respiration? Control in the sense you can breathe controllably, right? Pranayama you can do. Controllably you can breathe. Inhale, lock for 10 seconds, you can do. Then exhale, then deep breathe. You can control, right? The diaphragm will be listening your commands, voluntary function. When it will do the involuntary functions, the hiccups happens. The lungs, the space will be congested. That's why hiccups happens. What will you do when hiccups comes? You drink a lot of water. You are just blocking epiglottis, that's all. You are just blocking the epiglottis. You are avoiding the respiratory movement, that's all. Next time when you get hiccups, if you don't have water to drink, try this. If you have water to drink, drink. Otherwise, just hold your breath for 10 to 15 seconds. Hold your breath, then automatically diaphragm comes to your control, right? Hiccups. Then see here, during the time of corona, they used to do, first to detect the coronavirus, they used to do rapid antigen test, instant detection. Later, 1 or 2 days later, the report used to come, right? That is RT-PCR test, reverse transcriptase polymerase chain reaction test. Very important in biotechnology, we'll discuss later. RT-PCR diagnosis. To diagnose a disease, we use that. What effect did corona cause to our body? It affected our lungs, right? Majorly. Respiratory system got affected. What happened? The bronchioles. See, have you seen broccoli? Broccoli you have seen, right? Broccoli. ಹೂಕೋಸು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಥರದ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ vegetable you have seen, right? If you take a piece of that broccoli, it will be similar to this alveoli, we say alveoli, small bulb like structures where the inhaled oxygen is filled in. Above that alveoli, air sac, air sac. Above the alveoli, blood vessels will be there. See the greener ones, these are the blood vessels. From inside the alveoli to the blood vessel, the gas is exchanged. The gas is exchanged. Likewise, we respire. Inhale, air goes into the windpipe, trachea, then it branches out. There are so many other branches, bronchioles. At the end of each and every branch, there are air sacs. Air sacs. Okay. Inside that, the air goes in. Then there are so many blood vessels to which the gas is exchanged. Right. During the time of corona, what happened? These air sacs were blocked. The soft working air sacs were converted into non-functional spongy regions. The amount of infection can be detected with the help of a CT scan or X-ray. You might have seen during the time of corona, during X-ray, you might have seen so many white patches on our lungs. That is due to the alveoli blockage. If we do X-ray right now, if our lungs are proper healthy, then it will not show any patch. Okay. In the alveoli, the gas is exchanged to our blood vessels. The blood carries oxygen. Oxygen carrier of human blood is hemoglobin. What are all the cells present in our blood? Blood cells. White blood cell, red blood cell, platelets. White blood cell, red blood cell, platelets. Right? Red blood cell is red because of hemoglobin. Red coloring pigment present in our blood is hemoglobin. Hemoglobin. Recently, there was a news regarding a death due to the use of gas geyser. Have you heard? Death due to the use of gas geyser. What happened? Not the blast. Due to suffocation, a lady died in Mysore, I think, not sure. Why, what happened? Okay. During the time of respiration, ನೀವು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾ? During the time of respiration, what happens? Oxygen is utilized, then carbon dioxide is released, right? The process happens inside the mitochondria. And the mitochondria, the process happens. Oxygen converted into carbon dioxide. We use oxygen to respire. Oxygen. What happens if we inhale carbon dioxide? What happens if we inhale carbon monoxide? Suffocation. We cannot breathe because we need oxygen to respire. Which one is more harmful, carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide? When compared to carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, dioxide means O2, monoxide means mono, single O, right? Carbon monoxide is more harmful. Carbon monoxide. See, in a fuel, any fuel, methane, ethane, LPG, fossil fuel, petrol, diesel, etc. If the combustion is complete, carbon dioxide is produced. If the combustion is incomplete, that means in the presence of less oxygen, if the fuel burns, carbon monoxide is produced. Carbon monoxide. In a confined small bathroom, there is a gas geyser, gas cylinder fitted inside the bathroom itself. Okay. The combustion is happening. You can see the flame, right, in the gas geyser. For combustion to happen, what are all the things is required? First thing, fuel is required. Fuel, liquefied petroleum gas, biogas, gobar gas, petrol, diesel, any fuel. Fuel is required. Later, oxygen is required, right? Very important, oxygen for combustion to happen. Have you ever had fire pan? Fire pan. The pan with flame. If you keep it inside, the fire goes off. Why? There is no oxygen present inside our mouth. You might have seen many people lighting camphor on their tongue. If they take the camphor inside, the flame goes off because there is no oxygen present inside. Likewise, what happens inside that means for combustion to happen, fuel is required, oxygen is required, then ignition temperature is required. Wood is a fuel, right? Oxygen is also there. Here, it is not burning. Ignition temperature is required. If you keep petrol open, oxygen is there. Will it start to burn? No, ignition temperature is required. Likewise, liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, is burning in that confined bathroom. It requires oxygen to burn. Closed bathroom with windows closed or small window. What happens? The oxygen inside the room is utilized for the combustion. For the combustion to happen, the oxygen is utilized. Less amount of oxygen is present. That's why carbon monoxide is produced. If a person went to take a bath, spends around 20, 30, 40 minutes inside that bathroom, what happens? The water vapor, then the carbon monoxide will create a smog kind of effect. You will not be having enough oxygen to breathe. The person might suffocate and fall, get unconscious, or he might die. A person died recently in Karnataka itself due to this intoxication, carbon monoxide, very harmful. There is the hemoglobin present in our blood is an oxygen carrier, right? Hemoglobin, oxygen carrier of human blood. In many examinations and in many statements, they have asked with which gas hemoglobin has highest affinity with. Hemoglobin has highest affinity with which gas they have asked. Oxygen, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, etc. Highest affinity means affinity to mix with. Affinity to mix with, right? Hemoglobin easily mixes with carbon monoxide. Hemoglobin mixes with carbon monoxide to produce carboxyhemoglobin. 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 2 3 years back, listen, there was a question about LED bulb and CFL bulb because in many states they have started a subsidy plan to give out LED bulbs. You might have heard in our Bescom, etc. They used to give subsidy LED bulbs for the switch to happen, right? During that time, a prelims question was there regarding CFL and LED. Likewise, if there is anything in news like the death due to usage of gas geyser, right? They might ask, you should know the basics regarding the topic. Carboxyhemoglobin, by hemoglobin mixing with the carbon monoxide, what will happen? Hemoglobin's function is to carry oxygen. Now, hemoglobin mixed with the carbon monoxide to form carboxyhemoglobin. Then, hemoglobin lost the ability to carry oxygen. Now, hemoglobin cannot carry oxygen. Then, what will happen? The person will die because oxygen is not supplied to each and every cell of our body. If we stop to breathe for a minute or two, what will happen? We will suffocate. Same thing happens here. In many fire tragedies, in many fire accidents, more deaths are due to suffocation rather than burning. More deaths are due to suffocation. That too, suffocation due to carbon monoxide, very harmful gas. Carbon monoxide, right? Carbon monoxide is released due to incomplete combustion. Incomplete combustion means combustion in the presence of less oxygen. With more oxygen means carbon dioxide will be produced. In the presence of less oxygen, carbon monoxide is produced. Or excretory system. How many kidneys do we have? Two. Can we live with a single kidney? Hmm? Yes, we can. If both the kidneys are failed, then also we can live by continuous dialysis or with the help of kidney transplantation, right? With the help of kidney transplantation, we can live. Where is the location of our kidney? Means in our body, where kidneys are present. backside, attached to our vertebral column, right? But during operation, they will cut here to remove the kidneys, right? But it is press. If you get pain here, it is lower back pain. If you get pain little above, it might be a kidney issue, right? Kidneys help. What is the function of our kidneys? Excretion, removing waste produced in our body, right? See, when we eat the food, the nutrients are absorbed, the waste is moved out in the form of egestion. That is egestion. Like we are chewing sugar cane and throwing the waste outside, right? Likewise. But there are so many chemical reaction happens there. That's why the adjusted material will be of different form, right? Here, excretion means the waste is removed from our blood. The waste produced in our body is removed from our blood. What kind of waste do we excrete, we humans? If you get any diseases, the doctor suggests you to get a blood test. Later, if the disease continues, he might suggest you to get a urine report, right? To check whether the excretory system is functioning properly, right? What is the main constituent of our urine? Urine, urea. We excrete waste in the form of urea. Humans excrete waste in the form of urea. Fishes excrete waste in the form of ammonia, NH3. Birds and reptiles excrete waste in the form of uric acid. That's why if a bird excretes on your vehicle, the paint fades out, right? Fades out, right? That is due to the presence of uric acid. Uric acid. Humans excrete waste in the form of urea. We have two kidneys. Inside the kidneys, we have the smallest functional unit, the smallest functional unit of our excretory system called nephrons. We have nephron. There are thousands of nephrons present in each kidney. What happens in the nephron? The blood vessels which carry the waste comes here and the filtration happens here. The C-shaped, cup-shaped structure called Bowman's capsule where the filtration happens. In the first stage of filtration, all the useful and waste products are separated. Even the useful products are separated and mixed with water to produce urine. Later, reabsorption happens in the glomerular capsule. Reabsorption of useful material. The waste mixed with water produces urine. Waste mixed with water. Every day, a healthy human excretes 1 to 1.8 liter of urine every day. In that, 90 to 95 percentage is water, 2.5 percentage is urea, and other 2.5 percentage is miscellaneous waste, creatinine, uric acid, etc. Miscellaneous waste. Major part is urea. Urea is there. Yellow color of urine is due to the coloring pigment urobilin, the coloring pigment. Then when urine comes out, the full pungent smell will be there, right? The smell of urine is due to the urea present in our urine is converted into ammonia once it comes out. The smell of urine is due to this ammonia. The urea gets converted into ammonia and gives out that pungent smell, right? The best long-term solution for kidney failure, dialysis or kidney transplantation, best long-term solution, kidney transplantation. And we can, and the donor can, both can live healthily with the help of a single kidney, healthy life both can lead. Dialyzer instrument, which we can call as artificial kidney dialyzer instrument, what it will do? Complete blood is taken out, it will be filtered with that instrument, and it will be reverted back into the body. Dialysis process. Have you heard about kidney stones? How kidney stone happens? Hmm? While eating food, if we lack of water, if we don't drink ample amount of water, how much water do we need daily? 3 to 4 liters for female, 4 to 5 liters for male. We can generally say 3.5 to 4.5 liters of water we need daily, right? If we don't drink water regularly, one thing, and if we eat certain foods like more amount of chili, tomato, spinach, etc., it will also cause kidney stones. Kidney stones chemical composition is calcium oxalate. Calcium oxalate. Kidney stones chemical composition. What happens? See, your kitchen sink, your kitchen sink. If you pour a lot of water, the waste will be washed out, right? If we use less amount of water, the waste will be accumulated, the scaling forms, it will get hard, right? Likewise, it happens here. If you don't drink enough water, the waste will be accumulated there. It will become hard, small crystal kind of structures called as kidney stone. Enough. This much information is enough. Excretory system. Then, what is the function of our heart? Does heart control our emotions? No. Heart is just a pump. Heart is just a pump, right? The function of heart is to pump blood, oxygenated blood to each and every part of our body. Oxygenated blood, right? Fish have two-chambered heart. How many chambers do we have? Four chambers. In our heart, we have four separate compartments, four separate chambers. You might have heard in your school days. Atrium and ventricles, right? Left atrium, left ventricle, right atrium, right ventricle. Four chambers we have. Why do we need chambers? To keep away the oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood. To separate oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood means blood which is having oxygen. Deoxygenated blood means blood which is having carbon dioxide in it, right? While respiring, what happens? We inhale oxygen. Oxygen goes into our lungs. In the lungs, exchange of gases happens into the blood, right? The blood carries oxygen. The blood carrying oxygen is oxygenated blood. Then in the cell, inside the cell, in the mitochondria, what happens? Carbon dioxide is produced. That carbon dioxide is taken back into our lungs with the help of a special blood vessel called veins, that is deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood. Okay. Human heart, then bird's heart have four-chambered heart. Four-chambered heart. We and birds have four-chambered heart. Amphibians. Amphibians which have the ability to live both in land and water. For example, amphibian, frog, salamander, newt, toad, etc. Salamander, frog, right? Frog is an amphibian. Amphibians have three-chambered reptiles, snake, lizard, crocodile, etc. Reptiles. Reptiles have three-chambered heart, except there is an exception, very much important. Except a crocodile. Crocodile have four-chambered heart. Crocodile. See, you might get a doubt. Crocodile majorly lives in water. Rarely it comes out and sleeps on the rock or sand, right? Then turtle, tortoise, it also majorly lives in water. Rarely it comes out. Frog also majorly lives in water. Rarely it comes out. But frog is an amphibian. Crocodile, turtle, tortoise, they are reptiles. Why? What is the difference? See, have you heard about olive ridley turtle? Olive ridley turtle. Very much important topic for UPSC examination, environment and ecology. You will learn every year, every year, thousands of olive ridley turtle comes to lay egg in Odisha, Chandipur region, right? In the shores of Odisha, every year, thousands of olive ridley turtle and come and lay their eggs in the sand, right? If the animal lays hard-shelled egg, like the egg of hen means the chicken, right? If the egg is hard-shelled, then they are classified under reptiles. The shell of snake eggs, then shell of lizard's egg you might have seen. That is hard-shelled, right? They are reptiles. Have you seen the egg of frog? Frog lays jelly-like eggs inside the water. Jelly-like eggs. It is almost transparent, which we might not observe properly, right? Jelly-like eggs. From the jelly-like eggs, tadpole comes out. Tadpole. ಕಪ್ಪಾಗೊದ್ದ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. ಚಿಕ್ಕವರಿದ್ದಾಗ we might have mistaken it for a fish, right? Tadpole. Later it grows into frog, proper frog. The animal organism which lays jelly-like eggs and lives both on land and water is classified as amphibian. The animal which might be living in water but it lays egg, hard-shelled egg only on the land is classified as reptile. For example, snake, crocodile, turtle, tortoise, etc. Okay. Humans have four-chambered heart. Four-chambered heart. See, right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle, atrium, ventricle, atrium, the upper chambers, ventricle, the lower chambers. We have four chambers. Why there is a differentiation in color, reddish, bluish? Have you heard? The body already turned pale, the body already turned bluish, he might have died. Have you heard? Body, if it turns bluish, you might assume he is dead because the carbon dioxide content in the blood rises, the body turns bluish. For example, there is a disease called methemoglobinemia. Blue baby syndrome. Have you heard? the word blue baby syndrome. Blue baby syndrome. The newborn child, it will be generally fed by mother's milk, right? No other food will be given to the newborn child for fewer days at least, not even water. Why? If the child is contaminated with nitrate food, nitrate, if we have nitrate, it is a nutrient. Nitrate, it is a nutrient. Nitrate will be helpful for getting protein to our body. Nitrate is a form of protein. But if newborn child consumes nitrate, what happens? The oxygen level in the blood reduces rapidly, carbon dioxide level rises. The baby's body turns bluish. Baby's body turns bluish. That syndrome, that condition is called as blue baby syndrome or methemoglobinemia. Methemoglobinemia, kind of anemia. Methemoglobinemia. Blood counts reduces, oxygen reduces, baby might die. Okay. Blue means carbon dioxide. Red color indicates oxygen, oxygenated blood, oxygenated blood. We'll see the fourth chambered heart. See here, just imagine, breathe, inhale deeply, oxygen, oxygen went into your lungs. At the end of the bronchioles, you have alveoli, the air sacs. Around the alveoli, you have blood vessels, small, small blood vessels, right? From the alveoli to the blood vessel, the gas is exchanged. Oxygen is exchanged to your blood vessels. From the lungs, oxygen is exchanged to our blood vessels, right? Oxygen. From the lungs, oxygen travels to our heart. From the heart, the oxygenated blood is pumped to each and every part of our body, each and every part of our body. Okay. The blood vessel which carries oxygenated blood is called as artery. Artery. Blood vessel which carries oxygenated blood is artery. The blood vessel which carries deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood means carbon dioxide. Deoxygenated blood is veins. Blood veins. Oxygen artery. Carbon dioxide veins. Okay. See here. Heartbeat rate per minute is 72 beats per minute, 72 to 80, 72 beats per minute on an average. Heart is pumping out oxygen. Oxygen. Oxygenated blood is pumped out through the artery. Oxygenated blood is pumped into each and every cell of our body. Each and every cell of our body. See, in many parts of our body, we can see our blood vessels, right? Those are big blood vessels where the syringe goes in. But our cell is of the size of our cell, micro scale, right? 10 power minus 6 meter. The cells are very small. To supply blood into each and every cell, each and every muscle, each and every tissue, the blood vessel is divided into smaller vessels called as capillaries. Blood capillaries, small blood vessels. The oxygenated blood is supplied into each and every cell. Inside the cell, the oxygen is utilized. Oxygen is utilized and carbon dioxide is released. Where exactly inside the cell? Mitochondria. In the mitochondria, oxygen is utilized and carbon dioxide is released. Then the carbon dioxide travels back into the heart with the help of a blood vessel called veins. Blood vessel which carries deoxygenated blood or blood with carbon dioxide is veins. Artery carries oxygen, veins carries carbon dioxide. Artery carries oxygen, veins carry carbon dioxide. Right? See here. From lungs to heart, from lungs to heart, will oxygen come or carbon dioxide come? While inhaling, lungs to heart, oxygen will travel, right? Oxygen. From lungs to heart, oxygenated blood travels, oxygenated blood. That blood vessel is called pulmonary vein. Actually, vein carries carbon dioxide, but here it is carrying oxygen. Why? Simply listen. If a blood vessel is entering into your heart, blood vessel entering into your heart, that is veins. If the blood vessel is going out from your heart, that is artery. Entering the heart, veins. Going out, artery. Heart is pumping continuously. Heart is pumping continuously. While the heart compresses, the blood is going out from the artery. Away from the heart, artery. Towards the heart, veins. When the heart is contracting, the blood is pumping out from the artery, right? While contraction and relaxation, the blood is moving out through the artery, away from the heart. Through the artery, the blood is going out, the oxygenated blood, right? The rhythmic thrombing can be seen in the artery. Like the heart moves, the blood vessel also expands, relaxes, expand, relaxes. You can see the expansion and relaxation in fewer parts of your body. That is called as pulse, right? The pulse can be seen only in the artery. The pulse can be seen only in the artery. There are so many blood vessels in our body. Here you can see the blood vessel. Here you can see the blood vessel. There, if you feel touch, can you feel the rhythmic throbbing? No, right? There you cannot feel. You can feel the rhythmic throbbing here, pulse, because this is artery. Artery. With some pressure, the blood is flowing away from the heart. That is artery. See, from the lungs, the heart is the oxygenated blood is entering into the heart. From the lungs, oxygenated blood is entering into the heart. Towards the heart, it is coming. That's why veins. From the lungs, it is coming, right? That's why pulmonary vein. Pulmonary. Pulmonary means lung. From the lung, it is coming, pulmonary vein. Then from the heart, carbon dioxide from the heart to the lungs, deoxygenated blood goes out. Away from the heart means artery. Away from the heart to the lungs, it is going. That is pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery. Away from the heart, artery. Towards the heart, veins. Generally, artery carries oxygenated blood. Veins carry deoxygenated blood. If they ask, generally doctors put injections to which blood vessel, or which blood vessel is generally punctured to give medicine, they might ask, artery or veins, right? Why? Generally the puncture the veins, not the artery. The reason is that artery, rhythmic thrombing, expansion, relaxation will be there, right? Pressure will be high, right? That blood vessel will not be punctured. That might cause adverse effect, damage. That's why veins are chosen to give the medicine. Veins. Artery They have thick and elastic walls. Elastic expansion and compression happens. In the veins, there are thin compared to artery, and there will be having valves to avoid a reverse flow of blood, to avoid the reverse flow of blood.
People may use for suicide, no?
Sir,
Sorry.
sir,
Some people may use to cut down for suicide.
yes, sir. Generally, you might have seen they do cut here. If the artery is cut, the blood continuously flows out, then the blood pressure varies, the person will die soon. If he cut here or here somewhere else, he might die later. If the artery is punctured, it will cause more damage. See, humans heart have four chambers. From the lungs, from the lungs, we get oxygenated blood with the help of pulmonary vein, see, the yellowish colored one, pulmonary vein. Oxygenated blood comes in into left atrium. Later it goes into left ventricle. Later it goes to each and every cell of our body through aorta. Largest artery of our body, aorta. Largest artery, aorta. It goes to each and every part of our body, aorta, largest artery. Then carbon dioxide, deoxygenated blood comes back. Deoxygenated blood comes back into the heart with the help of veins. Here they are called as vena cava, superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, because see, we have only one heart, right? Only one pump. The function of this pump is to supply blood to each and every part of our body, the oxygenated blood. The carbon dioxide, deoxygenated blood should come from each and every part of our body, from our toes, from our head, fingers, everywhere it should come, right? There is no other pump to push that blood upwards. That's why we have two different types of blood vessels. From the parts above our heart, superior vena cava comes. From the parts below our heart, inferior vena cava comes. The deoxygenated blood comes into right atrium, then it goes into right ventricle, then goes out into lungs. Pulmonary artery, deoxygenated blood goes into the lungs. Then we respire it outwards. Heart is continuously working, continuously. See, if we move, if I continuously move a pen on this place, due to friction, the surface might wear out, right? The surface will wear out gradually. Likewise, from birth to death, without any rest, heart is continuously working. The muscles might wear out, it might get damaged, right? To avoid that, we have a special casing to our heart, a special membrane covering our heart to avoid that friction. The special layer membrane covering our heart to avoid that friction, that is called as pericardium muscle, which protects our heart to avoid that friction. Okay. Why heart attack happens? What is the difference between heart attack and cardiac arrest? Heart attack, you have heard, right? Puneet Rajkumar underwent cardiac arrest. There is a difference, right? Heart attack means if a person gets heart attack, there is a chance, there is hope that he might be recovered if he gets admitted or gets treatment within some time. Golden hour will be there. Heart attack means The blood vessels supplying oxygenated blood into the heart will be blocked. The blood vessels supplying oxygenated blood into the heart muscles will be blocked. Heart continuously working. There are so many blood vessels supplying oxygenated blood into the heart muscle. If a blood vessel blocks, what happens? The cells here starts to die. The muscle starts to function improperly or stops to function. Then you will feel severe pain. If you get proper treatment and the blockage is removed within a particular time, the person might survive heart attack. Cardiac arrest means stop, right? Cardiac arrest means the cardiac muscle of our heart due to unknown reason, maybe due to extreme stress, maybe due to extreme stress, or maybe due to an unknown reason, it stops suddenly. Heart stops to function, or it might vibrate. Heartbeat is 72 beats, right? If the heartbeat goes into 200, 300 times a minute means it will not compress and relax, it will just vibrate. That condition was also called as cardiac arrest. At the time, blood supply to each and every part of our body stops. The person undergoes multiple organ failure and he dies. Heart attack, blockage of blood vessel, cardiac arrest, stopping of heart's function. Right?
Can I have one
Yes, sir.
that why is feeling until year long?
Sorry, sir.
The name tumor develops after 5
Not sure, sir. I don't know, sir.
because recently had a surgery also.
Yes, sir. I heard about that.
So I asked the basic doctors also.
Okay.
They don't have the reason for that. So you teachers and
Sir, actually means the source for tumor is unknown. Any tumor. Even doctors don't know why tumor happens. The tumor happening in the brain, in the intestine, etc. Might be age factor. It might be due to genetics. It might be due to lifestyle issues. Might be, sir.
so only genetic they are not saying it is specific.
Genetic reasons, because that is an easy reason to give an answer. That's why they say. Maybe genetics. Mm. Yes, sir.
But I was probably, saying, and I do know I'm saying, that is, but the problem is, I asked several times to my doctor, nothing to do with the
Yes, sir. Likewise, I just said cardiac arrest might be due to an unknown reason. Likewise, unknown reason, sir. Even
very simple to say.
earlier, during the time of means our childhood, we might have asked or heard about stories of plague, right, sir? Plague. You heard, right? Plague disease. Plague. Plague ಹೇಳಿಲ್ವಾ? Plague disease occurs due to
Generation will be like,
plague occurs due to a bacteria, Yersinia pestis. Actually, generally we say plague occurs due to rat illy, but not exactly. The rat gets the disease and it dies. The rat gets the disease and it dies. The fleas, the insect, it bites the rat. Then it comes and bites the human. Then the disease spreads, vector-borne disease. Malaria also. A person infected with malaria bitten by a mosquito, female Anopheles mosquito. If the same mosquito bites a healthy person, the disease spreads, vector-borne disease. Plague was a vector-borne disease. We thought during that time medical field was not developed that much. That's why many people died due to plague. When Corona came, we got to know that even now we couldn't face many pandemics like that. because the disease is new.
Even today, you have about this.
Yes, sir.
That is so that the blood is a good levels
Hmm.
to the play.
Okay. Okay. Let's take a break and later we'll continue. 5 minutes.
When this
Kanindumana? UPSC thinks you have completed your degree, BA, BSc, BCom, BE, MBBS, anything. You will be having the basic understanding of all the subjects because till SSLC we all have studied history, geography, polity, mathematics, science, right? That's why the I ask questions from each and every topic. And in science and technology, major questions will be from the technology part. The two technology linked with current affairs. But to know those concepts, we need to have basic understanding of these concepts, right? Blood pressure is measured with the help of an instrument called sphygmomanometer. Average blood pressure is average blood pressure 120 bar 80 millimeter of mercury. The older instrument you might have, they used to pump and the fluid goes up and down, right? That is millimeter of mercury, mm of Hg, mercury levels. 120 bar 80 mm of Hg. 120 means a systolic pressure. When heart compresses, the systolic pressure is 120. When the heart relaxes, the systolic pressure is 80. Diastole. In a central government examination, they have asked a question about heart muscle, and they have given the statement that diastolic pressure is 80, 90, like that. They have given the statement. You should know. Cardiac muscle, heart muscle, is it an involuntary muscle or a voluntary muscle? Voluntary muscle means which we can control. Involuntary muscle means the function which we cannot control. For example, our hand we can control, right? Heart muscle, voluntary or involuntary? We cannot control. Involuntary muscle, right? Involuntary muscle. Is cardiac muscle the same similar kind of muscle present anywhere else in our body? No, only in heart. Cardiac muscle, heart muscle, only found in our heart. And in one examination, they have given a statement like the cardiac muscle lacks mitochondria. Cardiac muscle lacks mitochondria. Lacks means in less number. Mitochondria is in less number. Is that true or false? What is the function of mitochondria? What do we call mitochondria as? Powerhouse, right? Powerhouse of the cell, right? Mitochondria produces energy. Energy. If heart muscle is deficient or having less number of mitochondria, is it possible for the muscle to function properly? No. Cardiac muscle lacks mitochondria. The statement is wrong. Cardiac muscle, heart muscle contains more number of mitochondria. For example, each and every cell of our body contains 30 to 40 mitochondria. In each and every cell, there will be 30 to 40 mitochondria, powerhouse of the cell. Okay. ECG, electrocardiograph. Why do we undergo ECG test? To check whether our heart is functioning properly, whether our heart muscle is functioning properly. ECG checks the functionality of heart muscle. To detect the functioning of our heart muscle, we do ECG, electrocardiograph, ECG. Upon aging, blood pressure increases or decreases. Upon aging, BP generally. Upon aging, our blood vessel will be weakened, heart muscle will be little weakened, so the pressure inside the blood vessel will be increased. BP will be generally increased. Normally, the normal blood pressure is 120 bar 80, right? For an aged person, 130 bar 90, 140 bar 90 is generally considered a normal blood pressure. Normal blood pressure. If it is the diastolic pressure is more than 90, 100, then it is considered as a high blood pressure. High blood pressure. Human eye sense organ helps us to see. Our eye safely placed inside the socket of our skull, protected with eyelids and eyelashes, right? Our eyelids continuously closes, opens. Then also there is no friction problem because water is secreted continuously. Generally, if you place water in a plate and keep it for a day or two, what will happen? The water will evaporate, right? The plate will be empty, right? Then why the water above our eye is still there? Because above our eye there is a layer of water. Above the layer of water there is a thin layer of oil, thin layer of oil which we cannot feel. Very thin layer of oil. The very thin layer of oil is secreted by a special gland called meibomian gland. Meibomian gland. Tears are produced by lacrimal gland. Lacrimal gland. The oil secreted by meibomian gland. In an examination, they have given a statement. Meibomian gland is related to which organ of our body? Meibomian gland related to eye. Eye. Human eye. Generally, the diameter of adult human eye is 2.3 centimeter. Spherical shaped organ. Your mobile phone camera megapixel capacity is, how much megapixel camera do you have in your mobile? You don't know. Around 20, 50, 30, right? Your mobile phone camera megapixel capacity 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, right? Our eye is also a camera, works like a camera. Many a times you might have felt that while seeing the sunrise, sunset, the nature, you try to capture it with the help of your mobile phone and you think I am seeing a better view with my eyes, but same thing cannot be captured with my mobile phone. You might have thought because the megapixel capacity of human eye is very high. How much? 576 megapixel camera. Our eye is 576 megapixel capacity, right? Have you seen the movie Bedara Kanappa, where Dr. Rajkumar offers his eyes to the Lord Shiva? Eye transplantation. Eye transplantation. Have you heard eye transplantation? Donating the dead person's eye usually to the other person with a defect also, right? Will they completely remove the eyeball and a transplant? No, they don't completely remove the eyeball and transplant the eye. What they will do, they will transplant the cornea part, very important. See, the transparent layer present above our outside layer of our eye, that is cornea. Eye transplantation means cornea transplantation. Punit Rajkumar donated his eyes, right? His eyeball is still intact with his body. The doctors have separated only his cornea. The next day, after his death, in the newspaper, there was a news telling that his cornea was split into 3 to 4 pieces. Means from one single eye's cornea, they have donated it to 3 to 4 people. Actually, earlier, what they have done, they have used the cornea, single cornea to a single person. First time they have tried, and it was successful. They have, if you get a piece of cucumber, you will slice 3 pieces and you will give it to your friends, right? Likewise, they have sliced the cornea and transplanted it to many persons, many people. Okay. Eye transplantation means cornea transplantation. Cornea, transparent layer above our eye. Cornea. Eye transplantation is not eyeball transplantation. Okay. Then colored part of human eye. Colored part of human eye. Have you seen Dr. Rajkumar's movie Adhe? See, a person with brown eye dies. His eyes were transplanted to someone else. The person who got those eyes, he is also having brown eyes. Is that possible? No, that is not possible. If a eye donor is having brown eyes and the receiver will not get that brown eyes, the cat eyes. Why? Because the colored part of human eye is called as iris. Colored part of human eye. Colored part of human eye, iris. The pigment which give color to iris is melanin. The pigment which give color to iris is melanin. Melanin gives color to our skin, right? Melanin gives color to our skin. If melanin content is less, the person will be fairer. Melanin content is more, the person will be darker. Melanin percentage. Likewise, here, if the melanin content is more in the iris, you will be having black colored iris, black colored. If the melanin content is less means brown color eyes, still less means blue, greenish colored eyes they will be having. The different color of eye is due to coloring pigment melanin. The colored part of eye is iris. Okay. Then for us to see the objects around us, we need light. For us to see the objects around us, we need light, right? Here, what happens, see, this is iris, dark muscular diaphragm, colored part of human eye, iris. Then we have a passage called pupil. This is the passage, pupil, pupil, the passage. In your mobile phone, if you cover this part of the camera, still you can take the picture, right? The picture is captured from the middle. There is a tiny hole you have seen, right? Likewise, in our eyes also, if you touch here, still you can see the white part. The white part is opaque. You cannot see with the help of white part of your eye. If a tiny insect dust particle falls into your eye, it will be in the white part. Can you see that? In the mirror, you can see. With the help of your own eyes, you cannot see, right? That is sclera part, white part of our eye, sclera. It is just a supporting muscle. The white part is just a supporting muscle. That's all, supporting muscle, white part. Then the iris part, the middle of the iris part, we have pupil. Light enters our eye through the tiny hole called pupil. Light enters our eye with this tiny hole called pupil. During night, you have switched on all the lights of your house. You are sitting in a room. Current, suddenly power goes off. What happens? It will be pitch dark. You can't see anything. You are sitting in dark itself without any mobile phone for some time. Suddenly power comes back. What happens? You will feel some kind of discomfort in your eyes, right? You will just close your eyes, right? Because after few seconds when the power goes off, suddenly the things around us you cannot see, around you cannot see. Later, after some time, you can identify, right? In the dark also you can see the smaller objects, at least somewhat, because the pupil enlarges. The pupil and mobile phone have so many cameras. Mobile phone have so many cameras to take a micro picture, to take wide angle picture, different types, right? For example, if you are having a camera to take insects macro picture, you use a different lens. To take a farther objects picture, you use a different lens, right? To see nearby objects, you use different lens. To see farther objects, you use a different lens. Same here also, in our eye also. To see nearby objects, see farther objects, the lens present inside our eye, it changes the curvature. There is a, means nobody is there inside our eye who takes out the lens, puts another lens. What happens? There is a jelly-like structure, lens present in our eye. It is having a curvature, pains, right? Little discomfort happens, right? One Saturday morning to evening, you studied continuously without blinking, without seeing anywhere. Your eyes are hurting. Next day, Sunday, you're simply laying on the bed, seeing the sun or seeing any further objects. You don't feel any discomfort. If you are seeing any further objects, do you feel any discomfort? No. If you are seeing the nearby objects, why? See, when you are seeing nearby objects,